Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I see the honey over here.
Hello, everyone. Nikkia will be on in just a moment. She's currently on the wrong link. So I'm going to have them jump on this link and then they should be on in like a minute or so. Sorry for the hold up.
Thank you.
Guys, I am so sorry. It's my fault. We were over on a different link. Nikki and I just talking. And then I'm like, nobody showed up. That is so unusual. So I said, Imani, just go check the link that we sent out this morning. And there you guys were. So I apologize for that. Thank you all for your patience. Oh, and you're loving this, aren't you, Yvette Barajas? Because your coach messed up. Oh, we just ask for grace, just a little bit of grace. And Christy, don't say one word.
Hello.
Grace says something.
Don't say a word, Christy, not one word. Not a word. Except grace.
Nobody is perfect.
Oh, thank you. That's why you're my favorite, Zoya. Y'all say
That's what
you can be my
there,
favorite.
there is an ending to this saying. Nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
That's why we all are perfect.
Oh, see? Did y'all hear that? Yeah.
We are all perfect because we
Yeah.
have a great heart.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. All right. I just sent the link to the coach. All right, let me call her and talk to Nikkia. Okay. Yep. All right.
Special election can happen at any time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All righty. Let me give her a quick call. Oh, there we are. There you are. Thank you so much, Nikkia, for your patience. I already asked forgiveness and for grace for me, because I was the one who messed up. Imani sent her the right link yesterday, you guys, and I had sent her another link. I should just stay in my own business and mind my own business and let Imani does what Imani does so perfectly well. So y'all know that won't happen again. So help me apologize to Ms. Nikkia again and just welcome her to our market center. She's been at our market center through Zoom before. Last year, remember? Who she taught another class for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It was the 411 on the GPS, and we both co-taught that. So Nikkia is a PC coach in Alabama, and we've become Zoom friends. We have not met yet. We're part of the Pivot Shift group, and so I spend 4.5 mornings out of the week with her on Zoom, where we put our collective minds together and we learn from each other. Nikkia loves to talk about money, and she loves to help people live debt free because she became debt free in a pandemic. And I remember the morning that she announced that she was, and we all just celebrated. Because wouldn't you all love to be debt free? Yes. You can put up
Yes.
your little hand, your hearts, your whatever. And so without further ado, Nikkia has a very hard stop at 12 because that's when they have their tea meeting. I'm just going to shut up and then let Nikkia take over. And Nikkia, just so you know who's on, we've got a few new agents, a few middle agents, and then we've got some high producing agents who are in Jim's top 20%. That means they make a lot of money. Lots of money. All right.
That is awesome, Autherine. Thank you so much for your kind introduction, and good morning. It looks like we've got all ladies here. So good morning, good morning. Like she said, my name is Nikkia Dollar. I'm the productivity coach here in Huntsville, Alabama. And as it would have it, yes, Dollar is actually my last name. And the fact that I really enjoy talking about money is almost kismet, right? When we know that everything starts with mindset. So I'd like to do this kind of really go over some of my things that I've learned about money. Mind you, nothing that I'll say today is new or groundbreaking. I'm just going to share with you the things that I learned and the things that have helped the people that I coach, both in real estate and in life, maximize their money and kind of live a life by design. We all know everything starts with mindset. What you may not know, and it's true, that there's a percentage that 98% of the US population will be dead or dead broke by the age of 65 or dependent on their friends, family, or federal government to support them. I don't know about you, but if I needed a couple $1,000s for something, I can't necessarily go to some people in my family. Some I can, many I can't, but many people don't have the bandwidth to sustain $1,000 hit to their budget. Again, I don't know where you are financially, and that doesn't matter because you can make a choice to look at your money differently moving forward. Okay. And it's really not even about how much money you make, it's how you allocate the money that you make into the appropriate buckets. Bear with me 1 second. I gotta stand up.
Mm.
You know, you notice like when your energy is funky, you need to stand up. So thank goodness for technology and the ability to be able to do that. And so it starts with awareness. Now, as you're all in real estate, you know that the turnover rate in real estate is about 75 to 80% of real estate agents get out in the first 18 months. Sometimes it's because they don't have any transactions. Other times it could be, I mean, there are a variety of reasons why so many people don't move forward in a career in real estate. And many people get in trouble with the IRS not paying their quarterly taxes or putting aside the money for taxes when the money comes in, and they just hope that this next transaction closes so that they can pay whatever their taxes might be. And so Gary Keller tells us that hope is not a strategy. And so it all starts with an awareness and setting an intention to make sure that when your money comes in, you put it where it needs to go so that when the time comes that it's needed for its given purpose, it is available and not hoping that the next thing comes up. Does that make sense? Yes. I need some head nods or your camera's on would be great, because I don't know if you've ever, I mean, you're probably after 14, 15 months of Zooming, you might be a little bit zoomed out, and I can totally appreciate that. So I'm gonna need your energy coming back to me so that I don't feel like I'm sitting here talking to myself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, awesome.
Yes.
So group participation is highly recommended and encouraged. And if there's something, if you have a question, if you go ahead and pop it into the chat, and I will have sections throughout here that we'll take your questions and we'll kind of move forward. So now, typically the class that I teach is on personal finance, but I realized that I was talking to my clients about their finances, about running their homes like a business. Well, you are actually in business, and I'm wondering, do you track? Now use your digital hands and let me know what your, you can put a heart if you do track, or maybe the celebration one. If you don't, there's no judgment, because to be perfectly honest, I have a theory on where you are, or where many people are, just on my own personal experience. Now, do you track every dime, every transaction? Do you have somewhere to show where it's going to apply in your personal life? Wait, go, Christy, you ready to go off of me? Okay.
Yes.
Great, awesome. Is that K Realty?
Let me fix my name. Hold on.
Okay.
That's Kadia too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, okay. So think about this. What gets tracked improves. What gets tracked and reported improves exponentially.
Love
right?
that.
And so
Yeah.
one of the keys of wealth and finances that I've learned over the years is that there might be all different kinds of stigma about people who are extremely wealthy. There's things that, you know, the sayings that money is the root of all evil. Well, we know that's not
true.
complete. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil.
Right.
And in Keller Williams, we learned that money is good for the good that it can do.
Yes.
Right. So we look from a position of abundance and being able to have an impact in the world. We know that having money brings us the opportunity to make change. Money is really opportunity, right? And so when money is entrusted with us, because I firmly believe that we don't own anything, that we are just stewards of what is given us through our life from our Heavenly Father. Whatever your religious position is, I hope that that doesn't offend your sensibility. That's just what I firmly believe, and I firmly believe in the law of reaping and sowing. So when you are given, gifted, entrusted with finances, your number one job is to be a good steward of that. And knowing where your money is going is step number one. You see, it all starts with awareness. What needs to change in me so that I can have more money at the end of the month, not hope that this next transaction doesn't fall through, because the more real estate you do, the more opportunities you have for something not to work. No real estate agent has 100% closing rate on absolutely every single thing. When you do enough real estate, you will have a transaction that'll fall out. It's just the way that this business works. Somebody will buy a car 2 days before closing, or the seller will have an undisclosed lien that they didn't know that their spouse took out a loan and tied it to the house. There are things that are just simply outside of our control. While you can't control those, you can absolutely control what you do with your finances. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And it all starts with tracking. Knowing where your money is going and telling it where to go when it comes in is part of that. Now, mind you, everything that I teach as far as it relates to a budget is based out of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And I apologize in advance. I don't have the page number handy, but Authorine, maybe you can flip through your MREA book and let us know where the budget model is. It gives us very straightforward percentages of where our money should go. 30%, 30, 30, 40. That adds up to 100%. Well, looking at your, and I built a really simple template for you guys that I'm going to send you the link for. I use a rendition of this in my personal finances and I made some tweaks for you guys. There are apps that you could use. Personal Capital is one of them. Every Single Penny is another. There are methods available out in the atmosphere for you to track your money. And it's vitally important that that becomes something that you make a priority. While you wouldn't get a commission check and not deposit it into your account, if you look at how you do your spending, where your money goes, and tracking those transactions with the same commitment as depositing your commission check, it will save you so much time, energy, and fascination when it comes tax time. And using a profit and loss statement, which is basically letting you know if your month was profitable each month. Again, man, tax time was so much easier this year because I didn't have to hunt for receipts. I had it all in one place. I still have it all in one place and continue to do that. And so I highly encourage you to do the same. Let me see. Authorine, could you give me permission to share screen? Because I have my tracking sheet up and I figured I would just kind of show it to you guys. Make sure I have it up here. There we go. Okay.
Amani, can you make Nikkia the host, please?
A co-host.
Uh-huh.
And thank you, Authorine. Budget model is on page 153 of the Red Book. Yeah, and so the question was, do I use any app? No, I don't. If you say, yeah, app, I use the Google Sheets because I have this Google Sheet that that I'll share when I have the opportunity. And it's very simple. I believe simple is the way to go. It doesn't have to be complicated because it's something that you can continue to do. Because my husband and I manage our finances together, but we operate out of different accounts. And that's a talk for another time, but we track everything together so that we can see on this one spreadsheet everything that every expense that our household has in a given month, so that we can know where
you should be the host now.
Yep, I got it. Thank you. You guys see that? Like I said, y'all, when I say simple,
Yes.
I mean simple. Okay, so when you have a transaction close, I may need to shift some stuff over. Anyway, when you have a transaction close, that's money coming in. You can put the address here, buy side or sell side.
Mhm.
And the amount, when you put 0 here, it color codes that line. If you have a cost of sale, say for example, what's something that's a cost of sale? Your splits.
Yeah.
And I have it there in the comments.
Mhm.
Cost of sale is your commission, your split, your royalty expense. Cost of listing, you want to take it out from there. And I put in comments some examples of what each of these things are. Say, like Imani is Authorine's assistant. I'm hoping that she pays her. So that's where that would fall out as. And so on, and lead generation expenses, advertising, print, direct mail, internet leads, Facebook, HomeSnap. So it kind of gives you some, and I pulled these from the chart of accounts that are your tax professional. If you choose to do it yourself, this is the method. And if when you choose to hire someone, this gives you an opportunity to have it clearly detailed in one place, so that you can easily hand it over to someone else. That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool, awesome. I think I put the link to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put the link in the chat so that you can go in, make your own personal copy, make a copy, name it your own thing, and then bam, you're good to go. Now keep in mind, what I do for expenses, I use a negative, and for money coming in, I use a positive. Just remember, money going out is the opposite of money coming in, and you use the integer, negative or positive, that works best for the way that you think. Color coded for my personality types that love color, and the formulas are already set up in there, and you can tweak it. You have 2 more additional categories. Like I said, I use this. My husband and I use a version of this in our own personal finances. I track every single thing. We together track every single thing on one spreadsheet, and I use some of the extra fields here to note the whether or not it's a real estate expense. So, because I have both my real estate business and 2 coaching businesses. So I'm able to have it all on one sheet, so that I can look and see what's what, where's my money going. And so that link is there, and Authorine, you're welcome to share that with whomever. And I encourage taking the time to do that, because it's the little transactions that add up over time. Now, mind you, I teach a debt reduction class, and since July of last year, I've been doing it here in a virtual setting and sharing a similar spreadsheet with the people that have chosen to step up and say, I need to do something different with my money. And when one of the assignments is to go back and look at all of your transactions over a 3-month period, looking at each and every line item and determine what was it for, right? So if you're not tracking in your real estate business, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're probably not going to be able to take advantage of all the tax benefits of the expenses that you incur, because you're not properly tracking them and to be able to apply them when it comes time to do your taxes. And again, I'm not a tax professional. I highly recommend seeking the support of a tax professional when it comes time to do your taxes, and it makes it easier if you are tracking your expenses as they occur versus trying to remember if this transaction was stamps, postcards, or note cards. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to open this up for some questions because we're about bottom of the hour. I feel like I just kind of brain dumped on you, but this is kind of how my brain works. I'm really passionate about just what tracking has helped us do as far as turn the corner in the way that we have a relationship with our finances. We don't hide from it. We're not obsessed by it. It has become a habit that helps us know where our money is going and how to allocate our funds so that we can reach the goals that we have in our families and our businesses. So
So I have a question for you.
Camera's on.
Do you have, yeah, my camera's on. So do you have a, a payroll person that pays you out of your business? And I don't know if you have an assistant that pays your assistant also.
I do not. The way that I structure my accounts, because I've chosen to do my banking with a credit union, so I have multiple accounts. I have an account that all the funds go into, and
Mhm.
then they move to their specific places. I have holding for taxes,
Yeah.
operations account, and then my income account.
Okay.
So I move the money. Something I learned last year, and y'all, it makes such a big difference. If you take the money off the table, you take it out of the account that you typically do your spending out of and set it aside, and it's not just in that bucket, you'll watch the other accounts grow, because you won't, at least I don't. I don't look at those other accounts when it's time to make a transaction. And I hold my expenses accountable to some level of results. So Gary Keller teaches us that our money shouldn't just come, you've probably heard when people call you and they want to sell you some lead source, one
Mhm.
transaction and it'll pay for itself.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Gary Keller encouraged us that what our expenses should 4 times themselves, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
when you think about, I don't know, for our office, my monthly fee is $35. Now that does, and that's a portion of that is my command fee, right? To my technology fee. But I just lump it all together because it's $35, right? But if you think about, for command, you have access to a client relationship management portal, CRM, that on the open market, people pay thousands of dollars for. And even for the things that I've added onto there, which I have about $25 worth of add-ons for my Twilio and additional command emails, because I've gotten really into sending those out, I still pay less than $100 for a $2,000 capable platform. Now, that is well more than, dollar for dollar. It's more than doubling, my money, and it makes me more efficient. That gives me an opportunity to really utilize that tool to the highest ability without incurring thousands of dollar expenses to do a different website or what have you. So.
And I'm kind of glad that you segued into that, because I was going to ask you to talk a little bit about all the ways command helps us. And I don't want to make this a command class. It's just, you're talking about watching your expenses, and you're also talking about, when people call you in the middle of your year and say, I want to sell you X amount of leads, right?
Yeah.
So at one point, Gary was saying it's supposed to be 10-1. So how do you watch your expenses when you're doing marketing? Is there a period where you're just doing the marketing without any return? And when do you say enough of this marketing because it's not giving me my money back, because you're watching your expenses?
Well, most of my marketing right now is about building and nurturing current relationships,
Mhm.
because with a database of 100, 200 people, that is potentially a $100,000, $200,000 gross commission income just by
Okay.
nurturing those relationships.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because 100 people to 200 people doesn't sound like $200,000 in gross relationships. That sounds like you have to have a huge database.
And because everyone knows other people, and when you stay in communication with the people in your sphere of influence, your neighbors, your people in your community, they and become their person of choice. And it's really not even all about calling them and saying, send me a referral. It's about being just in relationship with them. We
Mhm.
use the 4 technique, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
Mhm.
People love to talk about themselves. And when you can take yourself out of the equation, listen to someone else, talk about the things that are important to them, and really buy into that. You know, your neighborhood kid is selling cookie dough or what have you. If you don't sell any cookie dough, I'll ask them if, you know, someone else that you know who might want to buy some cookie dough. Help it. Do community outreach. Like whatever passion sparks joy in your heart, you can give back to your community and still grow your real estate business like at the same time. And it's really about relationship. Real estate is a contact sport. So yeah.
Okay. Yvette, looks like you had a question. Did you get it answered? I think you probably answered it because she was asking about.
Yes, I got it. I got it answered. Thank you.
Okay, great. Anybody else have any questions? Now is the time to speak up.
No, I like the question that you asked about the 100 to 200 contacts. I would agree, I guess, along the thought process of it's just 100 to 200, but they know other people that know other people that know other people, and so on and so forth. So I like that concept.
Yeah.
I like, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kadia.
I was gonna say, I like what she said about making sure you're supplementing your income or having extra, just not waiting on the closing. And then also what she said about having that money, because I have my account where my money coming to, but I didn't think about it to say, okay, add another account to it to make sure, you know, I have my business checking account, my business savings account, but then also I need to figure out someone to add another account to make sure my taxes are going into that account, because I pay my taxes quarterly. So that's just getting that, like, that's one of my biggest things, is trying to figure out how I'm breaking down all of my money, making sure I know where it's going, to where I'm just not living from closing to closing. So that was helpful.
Yeah, well, that's not living closing and closing, because unlike people who are living paycheck to paycheck, their paychecks come at predetermined periods of time. And for us, sometimes, you know, depending on the speed or the course of your business, you could have 4 closings 1 month, 1 closing the next, 8 closings the next month. So there's a cycle to it, depending on, you know, your level of leverage. And honestly, side note, one way to prevent the longer dips between transactions is to make sure that prospecting for new business never takes place of dealing with current business. And that's by time blocking in the morning. We do Smile and Dial from 9:30 your time until 12:30, 12 o'clock. Yeah, till 12 o'clock on Zoom. They're over there, you know, right now, reaching out into their databases, calling on Facebook, LinkedIn, like all the things, right? And if you've ever taken Bold, there's specific parameters that they consider as it relates to what defines a contact. In the real world, you can stay in flow and communication with people in a variety of methods, and doing that regularly builds your business, helps you stay top of mind for the people in your world. And honestly, the people in your world want to see you succeed. And they get busy. Sometimes they forget what you do. Sometimes you forget what they do. So reaching out, making sure that you know what it is they do, how you can support them, and they want to support you as well. And sometimes it's all about asking, do you know somebody? Because your next transaction is embedded in your current transaction. So the buyer or seller that you're working with right now in a transaction probably knows someone, because their ears are open to all things real estate right now. They're in the midst of it. And so making sure that you ask for a referral in the transaction, when you go under contract, when you're, you know, throughout when you're at the home inspection, those types of things. Hey, you know, have you heard of anybody else? Or door knocking around properties that you lost out on in multiple offers. Knock on the door. Hey, my clients, they put an offer on the house across the street, and they didn't win in multiple offers. Do you know anybody in the neighborhood who might be thinking about selling?
So who else helps you mind your money? Is there a CPA? Is there a financial planner that sits with you and your husband? And because I know what some of your goals are for your retirement, right? So who helps you stay on track for that?
My husband is fully retired, so that's his passion is making our money work for us. So he studies financial markets and investing and reports out periodically. Okay, look, honey, as of he gave me an update this morning. Okay, as of right now, I have X number of dollars coming in every day, or what have you. My goal is to get it up to Y number of dollars. And you know, he gets really excited when he looks at his report. So because he's fully retired, that's a function that he's chosen to spend his time on. And he's pretty passionate about it, because just the think about it, he is 50 years old or what have you, and he retired from the military. And if he doesn't want to work another day in his life, he doesn't have to. So
Okay. All right. What else, you guys? I don't know what time it is. Imani took my phone, so I would be.
it's 20 till.
It's 11:40.
It's 11:40. Okay, you can keep it. What else? What else, you guys? What would you love to know? You got her on here.
Come on, Yvette. Got you on two screens and you're muted on both.
Okay. Let me leave this. Okay, got it. I'm sorry. Okay, have a question. Do you think that this kind of accountability, or no accountability, this kind of tracking the numbers, it's something that our admin assistant should help us to do it, or is nothing can be with them?
Absolutely, an admin can help you do that. And I think you, as the leader, have to take an active role in that as well. If you do it in your own personal finances, and have an admin who does it, you know, in your business, tracking whatever transactions that they're aware of. But I mean, if you happen to stop off at the store at, you know, to buy some note cards, will you save the receipt and hand it off to your admin, or you just whip open the app and pop it in there as fast as sending a text message? So I get it. I was a firm denier of how I collected receipts, right? I could show you from 3 years ago the envelope where I put all the receipts for our taxes, thinking that I would go back, categorize them. And as that envelope got bigger, the thought of sitting down to do that just became unthinkable, or what have you. And so I did a lot of estimations, you know, and now because we take 15 seconds after we make a transaction to pop it into that spreadsheet, I don't have to guess about what my expenses are for my household or for real estate.
So my other question is, if we decided to ask our admin assistant to help us with this process, it will be a good idea to give them the bank statements for them to go over. And then, so they will be able, I mean, I say this because I never take the receipts, because I always paid, and I think most of us pays with the Visa or credit card.
Yeah.
The easy is to control our expenses.
Like
So,
everything, yeah.
To have them all in one place.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
if you're not operating from a budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Great information. Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome.
I think
if you don't have an account, a separate account for your business expenses, I highly recommend it.
Yes.
There's one place where all of your real estate transactions, and yeah, you might have some that you might pay cash for, or may come out of something else, you know, as a one-off, two-off, and that's where having the tracking sheet really comes in handy. However, when you have it all on one credit card statement,
Yeah.
you can go through and categorize, because I know like personal capital, and there was there, like I said, there are other apps out there, right? That you can link to your accounts, and QuickBooks has one, self-employed, that you can categorize them easily. Again, your choice. The method that you use is completely up to you. There are so many options available. What I need to impress upon you is the importance of tracking, because knowing where your money is going is as important as making more money, because sometimes it's not about making more money, it's about managing the money that you have coming in right now better. I had someone in my debt reduction class last time who was a real estate professional, and he admittedly was not tracking what he was doing in his real estate business. And he had, when he went back, he found thousands of dollars a month in small transactions going here and there, duplicate Netflix accounts, duplicate Prime accounts, multiple things that when he went back and checked, he had wasted probably tens of thousands of dollars over the years, just with little bitty drips, $100 here, $50 there. When you have money coming in, you don't really worry about it. And when last year, when the pandemic started, and Gary Keller said, hey, take a look at your expenses, find something to cut. Even if your business is running very lean, that's to your benefit. Maybe you want to up your education spending, your skill building, your accountability, your coaching, whatever. We have so many, there are a number of free classes. There are also a number of paid classes that are available with skilled professionals who can help you top grade your strengths and learn how to leverage out your weaknesses. So tracking is so vitally important.
Yeah, Nikki, that is something that I finally did well since I started this business. Is I opened my business account, my personal account, and my taxes. I call taxes account. So that is the only thing that I did in a good way. But my problem is to track my expenses, even though one of my MAPS coaching gave me a great app. It's called RE Profit, Real Estate Profit. That is a great app. You have to pay for it, but guess what? I don't have time to put all the information in there. So I'm still.
I know you, and you bring up a really good point. What is your time worth?
Yes.
Exactly.
So if you already have an admin that you can leverage that task off to, but you have to make a commitment to start tracking from where you are. If you're going to have someone else go in and do the historical things and track from your statements, if you can make the commitment to, from today on or from some point forward, to make sure that you're tracking and keeping it up to date so that you're in relationship with it. Is it if your budget is $1,000 per month for either, Facebook leads or postcards or what have you, if it's $1,000 per month and you don't know how much you're spending until after the fact, you can go back and look at it and be like, oh man, I end up spending $2,000. I didn't realize that I had bought these cards or bought this postage or bought what have you. But the awareness of it, knowing that, okay, this month so 4th of July is coming up. You're gonna do some flags for your neighbors.
Yes.
Does that fall within your budget?
Yep. 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 And you're so correct, about following that budget, because here's what usually happens, right? You got like 4 or 5 closings and you're like, okay, I'm gonna send 1,000 postcards all over the place, just sold. Well, you did not have $1,000+ budgeted for the postcards. You probably had $500 a month or $300 a month, but you get carried away. Because I know I've gotten carried away before where I just blew my postcard budget, because I had so many closes that, I got to hit all of them. No, not necessarily. You can wait. And that's one of the things I'm learning, that It doesn't matter when you really send out that just sold. It just matters when people see it and are ready for you,
Mhm.
right? So you don't have to blow your whole budget to send the just solds all in one at one time.
Authoring, you mentioned that is so important for us to be very careful, because I always on my mind think that the most postcards we send, the better result we can get, because according to our other agents, top agents, that they are sending letters and postcards, I check with them and they said, if you send it like 1,000 letters or 1,000 postcards, at least you will have 5 listing leads. I have never sent 1,000 postcards. I never sent 1,000 letters, but I have sent like 250 letters and postcards, and I haven't had any kind of result. So I like when you said that we have to track the time as well. So what is the correct time for us to say, okay, I'm going to prove or to test for the next 3, 6, or 9 months. If I don't receive anything, any lead from there, so I'm going to stop doing it. I'm asking you about the postcards, the new listing, under contract, and sold. What do you think? What is your impression about that?
You asking Nikkia?
I think it was to me or you. It
Yeah. Oh,
really
okay.
depends on the strategy for your business.
Yeah.
And that not
Okay.
Yeah.
because keep in mind that farming for mail pieces to people that you don't know is a long-term endeavor.
18
You
months.
don't own that
18 months.
until you become seated in their mind, and that is with regular communications.
Mhm.
So you have to commit to it for a longer period of time with the intention of seeing results at some point.
Mhm.
And it becomes harder to track because you don't know if someone decided, oh, I got this in the mail, I don't need it, but my friend does, and they pass it on to someone else, and they might give you a call, and they may never say, hey, my friend gave me this card that they got in the mail. You might not know that. You just got a call about something that you had listed.
Mhm.
So for mail pieces, it's a longer term endeavor, and which is why things like never ending referrals are talking about just loving on your database. The people that know, like, and trust you, who have done business with you in the past, who have interacted with you in some way out in the community, or what have you, who like you, who like your style, who like whatever about you and want to support you, are like the people that you're going to love on. So birthday cards and random thinking about you cards and things like that are helping build your mind share for market share later.
Mhm.
What I am understanding, Nikki, is that it's better for us to send the new listing, under contract, and sold postcard. It's send it to our database instead of the community. When we, oh my gosh, thank you. That is my aha.
Yeah.
I was
Because it reminds them that you're in real estate and that
Yeah.
you're doing the things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this is all in tracking where you're tracking your money. So where are you getting a higher rate of return? We noticed years ago that, like, at the time was like 80-something% of my business was coming from my sphere. Well, you know what? The last couple of years, my marketing plan is geared towards my sphere with a few pieces of postcards, because I can track 95% of the business coming from sphere. So why am I not loving on them for Father's Day, Mother's Days, flags in the yard, Christmas, Thanksgiving pies, calling them every quarter, which some of them, we talk more often. Why am I not writing postcards and sending letters with seeds? Like, okay, it's Earth Day, I'm sending you a nice card with some seeds in it. I got the biggest response with those little tiny dollar seeds this year because I chose to just love on my database, because
Okay.
I am getting endless referrals from my database, right? Yeah, I don't have 18 months to send those postcards to see results. I would rather just love on the people that I know.
Thank you. You always told me that on my coaching section. You always told me that, and I was like listening, and the other ear was like, Thank you.
Nikkia, she was my very first agent coachee.
First agent that you coached.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I
That
miss
is
her a lot.
I'm just across the hall from you. All right, Nikkia, it is 6 minutes and Nikkia has a team meeting to jump on. So if you have no other questions, we are gonna thank her, and behind her, you guys, if you need somebody from Huntsville, Alabama,
Yeah, I'd be
they're
honored to be a resource for
honored.
any referrals
Yes.
you might have in this way. I am still in production
Yeah.
with my sister and the agents in our coaching program. We make sure that they're gonna make you look like a rock star and taking care of their needs in our area. I'm also
Yeah.
gonna post, I'm gonna, bear with me a second, I'm gonna give
Can
you
I,
a
can I
link.
ask a quick question? Is it can you ever have too many accounts? Like you have one for your business, one for the taxes, one for your general spending, you know, could
I
you
think
narrow it down
I-
to 4 or 3?
I think that only you can decide what enough
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because your bank might say you can only have so many. I kind of stretched my little credit union a little bit. I have 8 accounts with them.
Ooh.
So I have it all spread because I like to bank in one financial institution. I do have a couple of accounts in other places that, they're the forget about money.
Yeah.
But my husband prefers multiple financial institutions. So it really is what works best for you. And like I said, taking things off the plate, off the table, is honestly, I think it's the way to go. One of my mentors mentioned that to me like last year, and I was like, you know what? That is so true. When I opened up different accounts and started moving money into savings for future investing and for taxes and all those things, I'm more, again, when you track it, you are more aware. It's not a spent and gone, spent and forgot about. It's spent, you spend it for a purpose. You revisit that purpose when you track it yourself, and then you're in a relationship with your budget, and okay, is this really serving me? Because like when we're doing the changes with all the different subscriptions last year, when Gary Keller said like tighten your belts, like, are you really listening to those books on Audible? Are you using the credits? No. Well, there are other options available. Am I actually using these subscriptions? And if I'm not, I can pause them or cancel them or what have you. So it's got to be something that is not only benefiting me, my mental health, my spiritual health, my relationship goals, my business goals. Something has to serve a purpose. And so, and there's my soapbox, y'all. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my passion with you about minding your money. My name is Nikkia Dollar, and it seems to fit. If you have any questions or if I can help you in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is my valid contact information. I did put a link in there for you to get added into my database. We'll reach out and share information about future classes. I do financial coaching as well. I'd love to help you reach your financial goals sooner versus later. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
See
very
you
much.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome, darling.